Yo, 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 welcome everybody to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. We are here for the opening round of the Golden Class here in TCR. This is Trinity Competitive Racing for Season 12, Race 1 of the Golden Class. We are here for the Italian Grand Prix. I am Seafreeze, taking you through tonight's race. Alongside with me is none other than Broomhandle. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me here today at the TCR Golden Class, and of course, none other than at the Italian Grand Prix, as you did mention, here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit. And yeah, just getting ready to start this season in TCR, Season 12, of course, and yeah, just super excited to get this race underway.
Yeah, obviously last night we had the Silver Class in their opening race, as well as at Italy, and that was a pretty crazy race. We had some rain, a few safety cars, and it was a lot of wrecks. There's definitely on this game. We have the curbings here at this track that will catch a few drivers out. But usually in TCR we start out at Bahrain, and this is the first time in a few seasons where we're not at Bahrain. So it seems a little weird to me, a little bit more, as I have a lot of seasons under my belt. But we're here, first round, 15 rounds throughout the whole season, and I'll be here for much of the Golden Class, hopefully Broomhandle as well. We have 14 drivers on the grid tonight for qualifying, 15 minutes left. Just wanted to say thank you for everyone coming in, joining and watching, either on the Twitch or on the YouTube side. That's going to be pretty cool, streaming to both. We encourage you to watch on whatever platform you really do prefer, but qualifying is going to be interesting because of the tire compound. We already see a few guys, Be Good and Giggle, on the mediums. What do you think the strategy will play out in qualifying? You think they're going to go for the softs and get that track position, or try to do the alternate?
Well, this is such an interesting track. I think tire strategy will be quite interesting for around here. I mean, we saw in the Silver Class race, as ooh, you having a giggle just goes off the track on a spin. He saves the car, and he goes back on track. But yeah, continuing on, strategy for around here is going to be interesting. And as we saw in the Silver Class race, anything can happen as well. We could see some rain impact the race as well. That can completely change the strategy. And we know that a few safety cars could come out as well, as this is a brand new game. A lot of drivers are getting used to the new game as well, and this track can have a few safety cars as well, just being the Monza circuit. But yeah, for strategy itself, if we're going to just go for the normal strategy, I think the softs would probably be the best strategy that drivers would want to qualify on. I don't believe the medium tire would be the best strategy, because if you're going to do that, you would probably go medium to softs and pit around, like, I'd say lap 18, lap 17 onto the soft compound tires. I think it's better to start out on the faster tires. That way you can get a better start and trying to challenge your opponents down into the first turn.
Absolutely. I mean, overtaking is definitely possible here with the long straightaways and slipstream, although maybe it's too good because of the slipstream and DRS trains that we might be seeing. If it stays dry, it looks a little cloudy out there, but the conditions do change from session to session sometimes. Just Jose on the provisional at a 19.1 at the moment. Yeah, this is the Golden Class for people who have not watched a TCR race before, and these drivers are limited to at least racing line only, so every other assist is off. Some drivers might even prefer to use no racing line, but definitely all racing line only, as that's the only assist that's allowed in tonight. And then tomorrow night's the Platinum Class, the same time tomorrow, and that is where the drivers have fully no assists, and that is the top class still, as well at Italy. But we have a little bit of a lower attendance tonight. We'll still a really good grid of 14, so we're gonna have a great race in that. A few guys still out on vacation before ending the summer up, but we have a lot of familiar faces. Some guys moving from silver to golden, some guys remaining in golden, but a very respectful veteran class of the golden grid. We have Damaso, Be Good returning as well, Perry. Oh, there's a spin by the AlphaTauri Prudent, and X Ryan was able to join as well, so I don't know what car he'll be in. So we'll have 15 for tonight. But not many new drivers here in Golden Class. Everyone is familiar. I was looking at the grid the other day, and I'm like, man, We usually have at least one new driver to each class, but I think everyone is either a returning driver from Golden or they got moved up from Silver, so that's pretty cool to see. A very veteran lineup, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers are going to be pretty used to their fellow competitors, because this does mean that we're going to see drivers probably trusting their competitors quite a bit more since they've raced them before. That means we're probably going to see a lot more overtakes for around here, and a lot more respectable racing, a lot of side-by-side action, which is great to see. That's exactly what we want to see in racing. So I think we're going to see a lot of overtakes, especially with a lot of these drivers returning from Golden Class, or like you said, from Silver Class as well. Two drivers that I quickly want to mention here from Silver Class, Fire Up Flow and Ganu Weeb. They were quick in the Silver Class last season. They joined in the Golden Class. I wonder if they could get a good result.
Yeah, they've been in Silver for quite a few seasons, gaining and learning. I think they even might have switched the wheel, if my memory serves me correct. But yeah, I like that they made that jump to Golden. They work well together as well. They really try to fine-tune the setup, as from what I know and my experiences racing with them. So I'm really excited to see what they can do, not only individually but as a team, because they do work so well together. They will definitely be pushing each other to really get some good performances. We also have Latope, who is I would say a heavy hitter in Golden. He was in the preseason for Platinum, but he was only there because he missed the Golden, so he was truly trying out for Golden, and he's right there P2 at the moment. He is a very quick driver, Latope. We've seen him before.
Yeah, a driver that I think will be challenging for many wins this season, Latope, in the Haas car this evening, and of course throughout the season as well. He's only about, I'd say, 3/10 behind Just Jose, so showing that he's got a lot of pace in the Golden Class so far. So let's see what he can do for Haas.
And I also just wanted to mention, as in qualifying and during the race, TCR does use a mixture of regular and strict corner cutting to maximize the racing potential on track product. So stewards, for the most part, Italy's not much of a problem. There's not many corners to cut and places to extend, and if you do, you're either into the grass, into the gravel, or onto one of the trampoline curbs. And let me tell you, those things they can launch you. But stewards definitely will be keeping an eye out on those corners at the end of qualifying. The drivers do need to submit some footage to make sure their laps were indeed valid. So we'll be taking a look at that. Bats Plus around the final corner. He's on a flyer. He's in the Williams this year. To the line. It's fastest, and he dips into the 18s at 0.8. 2 to 3, almost 4/10 clear of Just Jose.
Very quick lap by Bats Plus. It's really showing that these times are coming in fast. Already, we're already 8 minutes in, and usually see these fast times coming in towards the 2-minute, 3-minute mark, and we're already seeing drivers go into the 118s and close to the 118s, of course. So very, very solid lap for Bats Plus in the Williams.
We still have a lot of full 8 minutes left, and that was a quick time very early on in the session. I think we'll see a lot of track ramp up. In my opinion, I think these times will definitely start to improve. If you even time it right, you could get some slipstream. I don't know how good that would do, but if you time it correctly, slip in with your teammate, I don't know, could give you a few extra tenths, which is pretty crucial. You know, turn 1, when the start of this race, it's going to be crazy coming into turn 1.
Oh, it very much is going to be. I think everyone knows that the turn 1 on the 5-lappers can always be crazy. These drivers are much more experienced, of course, than like the 5-lapper drivers, but I think they will know where to brake and all that sort of thing. But it is going to be a little bit difficult to know exactly where to brake, since it's such a heavy braking zone, especially all the way down into the first turn. You don't see turns like that very often in Formula 1. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race going forward, especially the first turn. All the drivers need to really do is just make sure they come out cleanly out of turn 1 and hope for the best, and hope that they will be able to get up there. As Fire Up Flow goes third fastest, the 119.275 for the Ferrari driver. Very quick lap, and he only's 1/10 behind Just Jose, so he puts it up into the top 3 for the former silver driver, now golden.
And his teammate, Gani Weeb, finished the line. He improved by 0.3 to go 5th. I think he might have just squeaked past Bam Bam. So it's a 3.5 for Ferrari at their home track in the opener. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it really is. The two Ferraris impressing the crowd here today. Hopefully there's a lot of Ferrari fans out there in the stream here today, especially as we come into Italy, as you did mention. But I think, how much time do we have left? I think the drivers are going to start going into the pits now, and then start maybe going on, getting the setup right, all that sort of thing, making sure that they're focused for their full confident lap that they're going to do when it comes to fighting for pole position. So I think we're going to have like a little bit of a downtime until that moment does come when we get to about the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, we're still pretty early on in the game cycle as well. I mean, the game just came out around last month. I forget the exact date, but these drivers, they don't have tons of time, well, some of them do. But the driver's still learning, still maximizing. This is when the mistakes are going to be there. The first race, you're going to have some mistakes. You're going to have those issues to kind of tweak out and polish towards the end of the season. And 15 races in a long season, obviously, we're talking here in race 1, but it's really about who could be the most consistent, but also who can maximize that speed throughout all aspects, and that's really what it comes down to. STK was not on a lap, but yeah, I just want to point out, Just Jose in P2, I don't know if he set that time on the soft or the medium, or maybe that's the tire he's on now, the medium. Maybe someone who knows more about the game would let me know. But regardless, he's up there in P2. If it was on the medium, that's a pretty stellar lap. I don't know if that's possible, though. I wouldn't know. But regardless, I just wanted to point that out. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. But anyway, Red Wing Racing in the Alfa Romeo coming around Parabolica. He's returning to the grid this season as reserve from last, and he goes P7. A really nice lap. Bumps him up into the points positions.
And into the 119s as well. Puts them a 119.9, just 1/10 down from Bam Bam. So a very quick lap by the Alpha.
Yeah, and we got 4 minutes left in qualifying. Some drivers went out, or some drivers are still coming back in from their previous laps. So, like you mentioned, with around 2 minutes or so left to go, that's when you really see the drivers go out at the very end of qualifying. Make sure you got the low fuel and you got your right tires, and the track's going to be at its ultimate best. And that's when we're going to see some quick times. No one's been able to beat Bats Plus time since he set it almost pretty much midway into the session. So let's see if anyone could hook the lap up and challenge for P1.
I mean, which driver do you think would be able to do that? I mean, from the Golden Class preseason testing that we saw, Just Jose looked very quick, sitting P2 at the moment. Is it possible that he could get up there, or any drivers you see out there that could possibly beat Bats Plus time?
Yeah, I think Just Jose is probably the best option at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't look past Perry. He had a really good season from last season, and he was up there in the mix of the top 5. He's in P8 at the moment, so I don't know if he just hasn't been able to hook the lap up, or maybe he's still, like you said, it's very early in the game cycle. How much did he learn so far in this month that the game's been out? But Just Jose is pretty good. Fire Up Flow is really impressing me from Silver Class, moving himself up to Golden, and now he's P3, so that's a huge jump. But obviously it's just qualifying. You got a full race ahead and a lot of chicanes to go through to get to the end of it. But yeah, he's impressed me so far. So he might even be able to improve a few tenths here and there. Let's see how much time he's put in. Bats Plus is retired, I think, in the pit lane. So I think he was content with his lap. I guess it was so good he wasn't going to beat it.
And I don't think he thinks that anyone else can beat that. That's probably why he didn't go out again. He's probably thinking no one else can beat that lap.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he said it so early on, too. I mean, we'll definitely obviously see it from the footage. But he said it more than around 8 or 9 minutes left in the session, so right in the midway part.
Yeah, it was a very quick lap by Bats, and pretty impressive as well, showing he's got a lot of pace for the Grand Prix. As Letop goes off at turn 5, I think he made a little mistake, maybe didn't want to hit that curb that bounces you really far up in the air, but he's off the track. I wasn't sure if he was on an out lap or a flying lap, but he's going to have to get to the line pretty fast if he's going to be able to get into making a flying lap and trying to improving that lap. As Steven goes P2. That's a very quick lap by the Aston Martin driver.
Yeah, and he is also a reserve, a golden reserve. He's a full-time silver driver, and he's had a few reserves before into golden, and he's really impressed with the speed he does have. He's in the Aston Martin tonight. Just Jose is on a lap as well, out lap, so he'll be starting his in a few moments. He is on the medium, it shows, at least from the looks of it. I don't know, in the previous past we've had glitches where that wasn't actually true.
I mean, maybe he thinks he can improve on the medium compound tires, but if he does, that's a seriously quick lap if he can be able to do that. But we'll see. So keep an eye on Just Jose in the Alpine. Who's next to cross the line to set a fast lap? That's the question I want to know right now. Is Fire Up Flow is going to start a lap, so he's not going to set a lap quite yet. I think there's an AlphaTauri. I think everyone's going to cross the line and start their laps with just a few minutes to spare. So there's a few drivers out on their fast lap at the moment. I think Damaso might be on a quick lap. Yeah,
Damaso's on a quick lap, 0.3 up from his previous best into Parabolica, hooking it pretty nicely.
Could be a good one.
I don't know how much practice he's had, because I messaged him today and I kind of asked him if he kind of wanted the seat tonight, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. So I don't know how much preparation he had in tonight's race, but that was good enough to put him 10th. So good on Damaso. Watch out for Damaso. I mean, this guy, he really knows his stuff in the setups. Over time, throughout the season, you got to watch out for him. We also have the other Ferrari of Gotney Weeb crashes out. I think that's at the end of a Ascari. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Yeah, there he is.
Ascari, yeah. Turn 10, I think it is. Yeah, he crashed out the exit.
Giggles on a lap as well, coming around Parabolica. And the Red Bull P13 at the moment does not improve enough.
Fire Up Flow goes third. Very good lap by the Ferrari.
Yeah, Perry's done. And we got Just Jose on a lap as well to the line. I guess on the mediums, I think he's still P4, so that's going to put Bats Plus for the pole position in the opening round here at Italy. It was a really good time, and like I mentioned a few times already, that was set pretty earlier on in the session, and he retired and said that was his best lap, and yes, it was. Bats Plus gets the P1, 0.2 ahead of STK. Fire Up pretty impressive in P3. Just Jose, P4. Letop in 5th. Bam Bam, Be Good, Gotney Weeb in 8th. Red Wing and Damaso. That's your top 10. I'm kind of surprised that Perry's in P11. I thought he'd be a little bit higher up, but we'll see how the race goes for him. You got X Ryan, Giggle, Prudent, and we have Drismic in P15. So that is your starting lineup for today.
Yeah, very good lap by Bats there.
Yeah, Hondam's in the live chat says tight field. I would think so. It looks pretty tight for Golden. A lot of drivers were able to contend. We'll see how the race goes. Scott Seeger says Bam for the dub. This is like a real life with washed up retired driver. Oh, okay. I should have read it before I actually spoke it out loud, huh? Man. Seeger's coming at me. I'm not retired yet. I'm not retired driver yet. Relax. And Just Jose says that's crazy. I don't know what he's referring to, but nonetheless, this is a time for those watching Put your comments down below for who do you think will be the top finishers in tonight's race. Who do you got for the win? Who do you got on the podium? I always give my predictions. I'm always wrong with my predictions, but I guess it's fun to try it out. With that, as the drivers load up here, who do you got for the podium, Broom?
Oh, well, it's a very tight grid. I think it's going to be a very tight race as well. But, I mean, showing from the pace here today, I really got to say Bats for the win. I mean, he got the pole position in preseason testing and went on to victory in the preseason testing as well. And, I mean, he's got pole today. Can he turn it into a race victory? So I'm gonna go for Bats for the win. Second place, ooh, I mean, I think I'm going to go for Just Jose, just because he's been super quick. I think he's going to be right on the back of Bats throughout the entire session itself. And I'm going to go bold with this one. I'm going to say Perry's going to pull out an absolutely amazing strategy there and just come through the field from outside the top 10 and take third.
Nice predictions. I like that. I got to rethink mine now. I can't choose the same ones, I guess. Yeah, well, here we go for the formation lap. I'm going to go with, well, you said Bats. I'm going to go Just Jose for the win. I think he had a pretty good qualifying. Didn't really get all of it, and that's why he's starting P4. Still a good position. I think he's got the pace to bring up there for the win. We'll put Fire up in second. I think he's a forward thinker today, really starting up there in P3. I think he can grab a few positions. And for P3, we're going to put good old Bam Bam, just to give Segrist a little fun in the comments. And those are my predictions. Are they right? Probably not, but we'll go with it. A few guys getting disqualified, but yeah, leave your predictions down below. As for the opening round, it's kind of hard to know who's going to take charge because it's the first race on a new game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, there's so many drivers that could get on a great performance. I mean, in the silver class race last night, I was trying to figure out, I was like, who's going to be the quickest driver here? And it was so many new drivers were coming through the pack, and I was like, where did this guy come from? And he's super fast, you know, like, so there's a lot of quick drivers that are coming through the ranks, and we just don't know because this is a brand new game too. This is a brand new game from F1 2020 to F1 2021 viewers. I mean, like, this is the first race in Golden Class that's going to be on the F1 2021 game, so it's a completely different just type of feeling to the track itself and to the game itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see the top 10 drivers starting on the soft tire, as that's what they have qualified on, and the bottom 5 are on the medium. Well, actually, no, the Prudent opts for the hard tire, so he's going a little long ball. See if he can, if that works out for him. Maybe a safety car at the right timing could really help his race out. You got Trismic rounding up in the Red Bull. So drivers lining up here for the first round of the Golden Class. Thank you all for watching, and stick with us and keep some comments rolling, some questions throughout the race. We really do appreciate that, and with that, we're going to give Broom Handle the call here to take us off the 5 red lights.
All right, let's get this race underway. Let's get this season underway. We're here at season 12 for Golden Class at TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. Let's get this race underway here in Italy for round 1. It's the 5 red lights, and away we go at Italy. And it's a great start for Bats Plus. Steven didn't get a very good start. He's on cold tires, remember. So Just Jose tries to get ahead of the Aston Martin driver. He does get ahead. It's Bam Bam going to try and make a move as well. He's already up to 3rd position. Bam Bam going side by side with Fire and Flow has been spun around. The Ferrari drivers have spun around. There's a lot of chaos at the start of the Grand Prix. A lot of drivers slowing down there. Fire and Flow was spun around. He's down to P6. Recovers on track though. Bam Bam now up to P3. Just Jose P2. Bats Plus now P1. And down the field, I think Stevens had a difficult start for the Grand Prix. He's down to 8th. And Perry the Dog now trying to make a move on the Aston Martin driver, but Steven did not have a good start. As we're going side by side, and there's a few drivers off the track. That's Latop off the track at turn 4. It looks like Fire Up Flow maybe off the track as well. Red Wing up to P5, but a pretty interesting start for the first 4 laps as Prudent and You Having a Giggle is also out of the Grand Prix. VSC has already been called out on the first lap of the Golden Class race.
Holy moly, what a swing of emotions there. We had everything happen in less than a lap. We had Fire Up Flow lose a few positions, STK, Just Jose gaining a few. We had a few wrecks with Prudent and Giggle already out of this race from starting in the back. We had to go through that, and now it's a full safety car. It first was a VSC, and now it's a full safety car. I've never seen that happen, but we now have a full course. And it's 13 drivers. Latop lost a lot as well. Damas, Drismic moved up. I mean, we're going to look at the positions changed here in a moment. But Bats Plus, yeah, he had a really good start right off the bat. And then everyone else just, man, it was a chaos into turn 1. And it followed into that tight chicane now with the curbs in turns 4 and 5.
Yeah, I think Latop got spun around. Something happened at turn 4 and 5 at that chicane. I think Fire Up Flow hit the curb. That's why he lost a few positions there. So unfortunate for those 2 drivers. Also unfortunate for Prudent, who started on the hard compound tires out of the Grand Prix on the first lap, and same with You Having a Giggle as well. Hopefully they can cover in the next race in Japan. So we'll see how that works out. The leaderboard is glitched. Viewers, if you were wondering what was going on there, this is a glitch we keep getting on the second lap of the Grand Prix. The leaderboard there on the left, it always glitches where different drivers are in different positions, but Bats Plus is still leading. Perry the Dog is not leading. He's down, I think, in P8, or I think he actually just pit for new fresh tires, but I think the leaderboard should shuffle back into order in just a few moments time.
Yeah, so we had 2 guys go for pit stops. That's Perry and Damaso. I don't know if it was for to get some better tires or to clean up some wing damage. Remember, you can get some side pod damage, and you can get some all crazy types of damage all over the car. It's not just your front wing. This time out, we do have that, I guess, option enabled, so drivers can get that extra damage. I don't know how often that really does come out, or maybe if anyone was able to get any of that damage, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out this season with that new damage model. But yeah, Bats Plus, Just Jose, there's really not much strategy you can do if you're the top guys on the softs. You just kind of have to get to your pit window. This safety car doesn't really help that. It really just helps anybody in the back, you know, wanting to switch their strategy. There is the strategy right there on screen if you did want to listen to it. I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah, pretty good start, and now we have the safety car to roam around a little bit.
Yeah, I think the safety car should be going in at the end of this lap, unless something does happen. I think it should be good. But yeah, as you did say, there is a new damage model in this particular race, and throughout the season as well, that we have enabled in TCR. I think this is going to play into some interesting, I think this is going to come into some interesting races, because a few drivers are probably going to be a lot more careful, as there goes Steven and Red Wing with a 5-second penalty. Wasn't sure if that was a glitch, because sometimes that does happen in these lobbies.
I think it might have been a glitch, because I went on board with him, and Red Wing, it looks like he's got a red X rather than a red wing. It's got a red X. He might have got a disconnection. We do have the ghosting off, I believe, unless it enables it for some situations like this, but it didn't seem like he was even close to Red Wing. But we might have to look at that after the fact. That was a penalty, but we should be able to remove that depending if it really truly was his fault. But yeah, not a great start. You know, you don't want to lose positions, and you also don't want a penalty. So from second to sixth, but the safety car's coming in this lap, and we're going to get going.
Yeah, let's get this race underway. It's going to be a quite interesting race. All these drivers are back focused, you know, after the first lap, and then they're going to just hope for a good start and hope that this all works out. Maybe a reason why drivers didn't pit at the front of the grid is because they know that once you pit, you're going to be losing so many positions, and then you're just going to struggle to trying to overtake, because when you're in the dirty air of some of these cars and when you're in traffic, it's horrible for around here at Monza. But when you're in front, it's pretty much smooth sailing unless you have a few drivers right behind you, which Bats Plus does.
And he's going right away, very early. He really kicked it. Safety car is in the pit lane, and Bats Plus went for it. He caught the rest of the grid napping. And it gets a good start off of Just Jose. Bam Bam then follows. We'll see it farther down if there's any moves making. Looks like Be Good. No, everyone's single file, so that really did spread everyone out a little bit. We'll see how the pace goes, but Be Good in the Aston Martin on the back of Fire Up. That's for P6, but doesn't get a great exit.
And Red Wing's trying to make a move on to Godany Weeb. I think he was just a little too far behind, so he can't make a move quite yet. But that's a close battle as well. But here comes Be Good trying to make a move into turn 5, into the first Lasmo. Is he going to make it? Yeah, he does. He's going to go side by side with the Ferrari, and the Aston Martin gets ahead, and Be Good is up into 6th position. Fire and Flow down to 7th. Fire and Flow must have a little bit of damage maybe onto the car. Maybe that's why he was struggling to certain corners, maybe getting a little understeer into certain corners there. But I think good move from Be Good. He's up into P6.
Yeah, Be Good's been here a very long time, probably longer than everybody. Oh, we got a record. Latope out of Ascari, hit the curb, and he's out. That's going to be a yellow.
Drismic
as well. Yeah, he got spun up in there as well, and that's another safety car. Latope really did lost it. I saw it right in the background. You could see debris flying all over the place. And like I said, it probably was maybe the curbing on the exit. Or maybe the corner right before. We're riding on board STK. Could have been any of these curbs. Maybe that one right there. Or even if you got far in the exit and then there was debris all over the place. And they cleaned that one up pretty quick because you could see nothing on board with STK. It's another safety car. And that moves a few guys up the order. It just feels like these soft tire runners, they really haven't been able to unleash their pace on these soft tires. One lap and then they gotta slow down again and regroup with the pack. I wonder. And we have a drive-through for Godny Weeb. He's in P9 and he was speeding, so he's got a full drive-through penalty, which you cannot serve that until the green flag. So that's gonna completely ruin his race. Unless we get another safety car, which at this rate I think we'll get quite a few more in the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 2 safety cars already, and I think that's really just because this track is so difficult for just certain turns. I love this track, but on this game there's 2 major corners that are really difficult, and that's turn 5, and that's also turn 10 into Ascari as well. Bats Plus, Just Jose, and Bam Bam all pit. Red Wing stays out. This could affect some drivers. Could Godny Weeb get up there? I'm not sure. I mean, like, he would be the next driver to overtake a few, but this does mean that the 3 drivers, the top 3 that did pit, are going to be down a few positions. They're going to have to make a few positions up during the Grand Prix. Is that the right strategy? We don't know. We'll have to find out how that all works out, but the strategy is completely wild now. Red Wing leading the Grand Prix, the only driver to not stop on the soft compound tires. Could that work out for him? We don't know. Ryan and Perry, both on medium compound tires, different laps. Ryan's on 5-lap-old mediums, Perry on 3-lap-old mediums, and then we got Damaso on the hards, and then we also got Bats Plus, Just Jose, Bam Bam on the softs as well. This is completely different for strategy, and who knows who could come out on top here today.
Yeah, that safety car and that pit strategy kind of switched everything in this race, because look at the tires. Everyone's on different. You got red, you got yellow, you got white. Everyone's on different tires. They came in, they had to fix damage, and now Red Wing's leading this race. Ryan, Perry, Damaso, drivers who were not expected to be up there. We'll see how this strategy plays out. We have 1 guy on a hard tire. We have 2 on the mediums. Red Wing leading on the softs. We'll see how much he can get out of that tire. But then you still do have Bats Plus and Just Jose in 5th and 6th. If it does filter out, I mean, they would be, the quickest guys, obviously. They were just leading this race. But we'll see kind of you know, how this goes. It's so hard to tell because, you know, another safety car can completely ruin it. It seems like this season and this game particularly is more of a nutrition, who can last until the end type of season and type of game than it has been in previous. So, I mean, we're already down to 12. We lost 3. And
yeah,
it's just getting going. We got 20 laps left. Italy goes quick, by the way. It's the temple of speed. It's one of the quickest Grand Prix. You turn it on, you turn it off. It's that quick. But you know, these laps under the safety car, I don't even think we got like 1 or 2 laps consecutively yet. We've only had a lot of yellows.
Yeah, it's been we haven't had a full lap. It's been quite surprising, actually. I think there's been a few spins. I think that's caused the safety car come out. I think the safety car should come in at the end of this lap, so Red Wing will lead us away here today. But we're not sure if another safety car will come out. It's possible. And as you said as well, it is the temple of speed. These drivers are flying through the entire track, and like you said, you literally turn on the TV. It's Italy. You turn it right off. It's so fast. The track goes by so fast, especially that 2020 real life race. That was a really fast Grand Prix. Apart from the red flag, a really entertaining race as well.
Yeah, well, we'll see how the strategy shakes up. We saw plenty of racing left in this race. So we'll see who takes control of it. It was Bats Plus who had the pole, and Just Jose made some positions up on the opening lap, and he's contending for this win. Although will strategy, you know, prevail here? We have the safety car coming in. Now it's Red Wing who gets control. He's got to leave enough space for the safety car to come into the pit lane before he can hit go. So he's got X Ryan and Perry behind him. It's 6 laps old on those soft tires, but they really didn't get going. I wonder what the tire wear's like. He leaves it a lot later. He's got to wait for that safety car. And I think he might do the Verstappen crawl here. No, he goes. Now he goes. He's got X Ryan and Perry. Perry's really close on the back of the Williams. He's got Bats Plus behind him on Damaso as well. They're going to challenge for the lead into turn 1. It's going to be X Ryan around the outside on Red Wing, and he's going to get it for P1 and Perry as well.
Contact with Perry and Red Wing. I don't think there's any damage, but there was a little contact there. Here comes Bats Plus now trying to make a move on them as well, but Perry's still side by side with Red Wing as we come down to the second chicane now. Is Perry going to try and make a move on the Alfa Romeo? He does. He sends it to the inside and cuts in very nicely, gets ahead, and now all the back of Ryan. Is Bats Plus going to try and make a move on Red Wing? It doesn't look like it. There's a little bit of contact towards the back of the field. I think that might have been Be Good and Drismic maybe, and maybe Steven as well. As those 3 are off the track. It looks like a turn 4.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Red Wing is disconnected or if his connection's just really bad. I don't know if that's him actually racing. He's got the red X still under his name. He's got Perry looking on a move on X Ryan, but didn't quite make it yet. He's going to get a good run out of Scari, though, coming to the back straightaway. And it's going to be the McLaren on the Williams. The outside, we got another yellow. That's, I think, the 2 Aston Martins.
Both Aston Martins, yeah. I wonder if something happened with both of them, because they both have wing damage, and that's a place you don't see many crashes, but something happened there. Perry and Ryan still battling out, and look at Bats Plus. He's now got past Red Wing, now all over the back. This is going to get quite interesting. Bats Plus has an amazing run down to the first turn. Ryan's going to block him off, though. Bats can't do anything, but he's going to try and sail it around the outside of his teammate, which turns to the inside line. No, he can't get past quite yet, so Bats has to stay there. Steven out of the Grand Prix. It looks like there was contact with the 2 Astons.
Yeah, and I think he retired in the pit lane. I don't know if he had some more crucial damage, but Begood's also in the pit lane. I think he might just get a wing change. We didn't really quite see it. I've been sticking up here with the lead because this has been great battling. Perry, X Ryan, and Bats Plus, the 2 Williams. X Ryan is not usually in the Williams. That is, I think, Jones. But since he joined late, they put him in the Williams just to keep note of that. But Bats Plus is going to get a good run on X Ryan to Ascari. No DRS yet. I don't think we've had DRS yet this race, but he's going to slip in behind his today teammate. And we got Just Jose following up as well. Red Wing still falling back. And it's all single file now. I think we could take a breather here, Broom. Maybe not so much Bam Bam on the move on Damaso inside, but Damaso's going to take it so far. There we go. We have DRS now enabled.
Yeah, and Red Wing pit as well. So two things to cover there. Like you said, DRS and Red Wing also pits for those tires. Bats Plus goes for a move on his today teammate. And Bats is now... Ooh, he actually has to back out of that one. Look at Just Jose. Now he's trying to make a move on Ryan. Bats Plus does get ahead. Sorry about that. I made a little mistake there. Ryan down to P3. So Bats is up into P2. Is Just Jose going to try and make a move? Not a lot of space, but he goes down the inside on the Williams driver. And what a good move that was from Just Jose. Moves himself up into P3.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue on these cars. It's very hard for me to choose who's who. You got the Alpine, you got the two Williams, but here comes the red Ferrari. You can't miss that one. You got Fire Up Flow making up some more positions. A few tenths behind Ryan on the straightaway now has the DRS. But 2 tenths is not enough to get P4 for the moment. You still have Perry out in front on those tires that he started the race. Actually, he pitted a few laps in that first safety car, so he's leading the race over Bats Plus, and then you have Just Jose. So they kind of made up some of their positions in this exchange, but you still have Fire Up Flow trying to catch up to the top two and the rest of this pack.
Also, I wonder if a few drivers are having difficulty with understeer because of the safety car that allowed them to get a lot of fuel in the car. They may have a little bit of troubles with turning the car around for certain corners. Fire Up Flow gets past Ryan, by the way, so that Ferrari did eventually get past up in fourth.
Oh, but the Williams fights back. Ryan gets the traction over Curva Grande. He's going to save his... move? Yeah, I thought he had enough battery to do it, but I think he might have clicked it off for a second. He slots back in the P4. You got to watch these curbs here. They're very dangerous.
Super dangerous. Yeah, that's something you don't want to clip the inside there at turn 5. Also, keep an eye on Bam Bam right behind on the soft compound tires. He's flying right now. He's going to be flying, of course, with the softs. And now just watch for him. Keep an eye on the Mercedes driver as he's going to be trying to make a move. Ryan has got a lot of pace on these mediums that are quite old compared to the other drivers around. He's on 10-lap old mediums, and everyone else is on about 4-lap medium tires. So Ryan, surprisingly, is keeping up with Fire Up Flow and looking to challenge him as well. As that's Drismic off the track at the same corner a lot of people have spun at. That's the exit of Ascari chicane, and it looks like the Red Bull off the track. He's still in P8. I don't believe he's lost too many positions there. He's just lost a lot of time.
Yeah, and Bats Plus 2 tenths on Perry. As we come to turn 1, he's going to have the DRS. He's going to make the move on Perry with the DRS and the overtake. It should be quite an easy move, and he slows it down just in time for turn 1 and 2. And Bats Plus back up into the lead over Perry. Let's see if Just Jose can do the same in the next few corners now that he'll have the DRS. But Perry will also have it, so he might even fight back.
Yeah, the two former teammates battling it out. They were former teammates at Mercedes last season, but now this is for position here. As Bats makes a little mistake, that closes Perry up to 1/10 of a second. So this isn't over. Perry may be on a little bit older tires, but he still has the fighting spirit to go side by side with his former teammate and now rival in this race. But he has to worry about Just Jose. He's got 8 tenths to the McLaren driver behind. If Just Jose wants to win this race, he has to get past Perry as soon as possible and then get all over the back of Bats Plus, because then he'll have the DRS and then he'll have the chance to maybe go down the inside or around the outside as well into certain corners.
Yeah, Perry had that line all messed up through Ascari, but was able to at least get through it for the meantime. If he kept it in the throttle, that could have been another driver right into the wall. But yeah, these drivers are just kind of keeping pace with each other. A few other mistakes. Be Good retired as well, so both Aston Martins are out for today. He retired, I think, in the pit lane. Just a lot of mistakes and spins and probably some damage along top of that. Just wasn't his day. Just Jose down the inside on Perry.
Ooh!
It went for the lunge, but wasn't able to keep it stick. But now has the traction out of turn 2. And we'll see Perry puts on the block. Coming down to the next chicane here. Turns 4 and 5. And then Just Jose is going to take the inside. And there's some contact there. Little wheel banging. But Just Jose takes it for P2, so a good overtake from Just Jose and a pretty good defense from Perry just wasn't enough. Now, Just Jose's 1.4 seconds back. He's got to use some of his battery, get within DRS, and take back charge from Bats Plus.
So much respectful driving right there. That was very, very well managed by the two drivers. They were side by side through that section. You don't see moves that often in that particular section, especially on that game, or on this game, of course. It's quite interesting. So Perry the Dog and Just Jose, very well done to both of you. But Just Jose does get past and up into second place. And this is crucial for him if he's going to be able to try and take the win. This was really crucial for him to get past the McLaren driver. Now he's starting to get a little bit clean air, but now he's catching up to Bats Plus. Purple sector through the third sector for Just Jose. He's now flying. I think we're going to have a race victory battle here in just a few laps time.
Yeah, and we have, just to mention, Bam Bam moves up to P5 on X Ryan. So, like you said a few laps earlier, on those soft tires, he'll be moving. He is moving. He's up to P5. He's only a half a second back on Fire Flow. And they're only about a second off from DRS from the top three. So, the top five is very much still in this question. We'll see how the strategy works. Bam Bam is on the soft tire. Everyone else is on the medium. As far as makes a mistake, that's going to promote Bam Bam to P4. So I think if you just keep talking about Bam Bam, he's going to keep moving up the ranks, because he's now up to P4. Now 2 seconds back from this top three, and you could pretty much see him on the straightaway.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right now. Made a move on Ryan, of course. And then when Fire Flow made that little mistake, he just said, "Thank you very much. I'm up into P4," and that's one more position for Bam Bam. But
Perry into the wall! Whoa!
No way! No way! Perry's out of the Grand Prix.
I just caught that,
Just
and
Jose,
man,
Just Jose has just crashed, and Bats is off the track as well. No way has this just happened. I think Just Jose and Bats just made contact. Just Jose is out of the Grand Prix as well.
I can't. He's out. That's it. What just happened? Another safety car.
Oh my goodness, on lap 15, the top three have, I think Bats, he doesn't have any damage, but two drivers inside the top three are out of the session. Just Jose and Perry the Dog both out of the Italian Grand Prix. This is insane. Bats Plus has been held up in the pit lane. Bam Bam takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Fire and Flow is second place. Bats is down to third on the soft compound tires. This is absolutely insane on lap 15.
I am in shock for words. I saw Perry. I was kind of on board with him. You could see it on the stream. He hit that barrier. The quickest I've ever seen anyone hit that barrier. He went like full. He went launched right out of picture, out of frame. Zoom. It was instant, and he crashed out. I didn't see what happened with Bats Plus and Just Jose. If there was anything, it seemed like it was farther down the straight. It would have been in Parabolica, if anything. But when I went on board, I wasn't able to see, so we'll see some footage after the race. But like I mentioned earlier, it's the battle of nutrition. Perry's out, Just Jose's out, Bats Plus loses it, down to P3. He opted for the soft tire. Can that get him to the end? We'll see. Now we have 8 drivers left in this race. Drismic has a penalty. We have Bam Bam leading the race. I think Seacrest had a prediction in that chat a little while ago that Bam Bam would win this race. I didn't believe him, but now I'm believing him. I think Bam Bam could win this race. He put the mediums on. Everybody's good to go to the end. I think the soft drivers could go to the end. But right here, on board with Bam Bam, Perry went straight. I mean, really, that was very aggressive. I've never seen a car hit a barrier that quick. It was really instant.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for Perry the Dog in the McLaren. That corner can be a nightmare, you know, and it sounds like he hit it so fast that he couldn't react in time. It's just showing that corner is a really nasty one. And an update on what happened with Just Jose and Bats Plus. We still don't know exactly what happened, but I do believe there was contact. I think I can pretty much confirm that there was contact between the two drivers. It wasn't a mistake from one single driver. I think there was contact there. And what was interesting too is that I was riding on board with, I think, the third place driver at the time, who moved up into third, and I did see Just Jose's car all the way at the end of the gravel trap at the last turn. at Parabolica. So showing that something major happened between the two front runners here today. And something happened that launched Just Jose into a really fast accident that I'm assuming he had no control over, but we'll have to find out what exactly happened there. Look at a race replay or something like that and find out. But what has happened is that Bam Bam's leading the race. Fire Up Flow, second place. Bats Plus is third. There could be some sort of penalty, though, maybe after the race or something like that. That could affect Bats Plus, but he is on the soft compound tires, so don't discount him from the race win. He could still get this race victory here today. He is on the faster tires than anyone else around him, so this could still turn out pretty good for Bats Plus.
And not only for Bats Plus, but, you know, you look at Red Wing, you look at Drizmic. Drizmic didn't have so many points last year. This could be their opportunity. You know, already, look at all the drivers crashed out. The top 8 drivers. I mean, even if you finish last, you finish in 8th. As long as you finish. So this could be a good opportunity for some other drivers to get some good points right off the bat. And get some points in the bag and say, good luck, let's go to the next one. And, man, I just didn't expect this many people to wreck out at Italy. I mean, we're going, I think, to Japan next week. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are off to the Suzuka circuit, and that one can be quite difficult in the first sector, but it should be okay. But I think, yeah, I'm kind of, I didn't think there were going to be that many retirements either, but a lot of action. But Bam Bam leads us the way. Did he get a pretty good start off of Fire Up Flow?
Pretty good, yeah. Bam Bam had a pretty good start, but Fire Up is gaining onto the Mercedes, the Ferrari on the Mercedes into turn 1, as we are now green in this race. Bam Bam goes deeper, and that's good for defense right there, and Bam Bam still keeps P1. You got Bats, though, on the traction. He's going to look to overtake Fire Up for P2. Round Curva Grande into turns 4, 5 chicane. You got to watch out on these curbs. Will they give the respect that Perry and Just Jose did earlier? No, it's going to be Fire Up who takes it.
Bats almost lost the car there. He saved it though. They do maintain their positions. That is Damaso, I think, off the track. A yellow flag in the last chicane, or the last chicane before the Lesmos there. But yeah, I think it was a very. Oh, is there Fire Up Flow and Bats Plus? I think Bats Plus just got past the Ferrari, so Bats eventually does get passed up at a second place.
Yeah, I mean, Bats is on the soft tires, so he's going to really reel in Bam Bam here. It's just whether or not he can use those tires and save them for the next 10 laps in this race to hold on. He also has Fire Up. And the mediums, you know, those are good tires as well. We've got some battling behind as well. You got Red Wing and X Ryan going side by side through Parabolica. It's going to be the Williams overtaken on the outside for P4. And,
could we see a Williams 1-2 in this race?
You probably could. I mean, X Ryan was also on the soft tire. It would be a visual Williams 1-2, but you know, he's not technically in the Williams. But yeah, for laughs and giggles, sure, we can have that. As we have a spin, Drizmic into turn 1, a Damaso wing change, so he's going to be far behind the pack of 7 or 6 now. He's going to be in P8, and Red Wing cut the corner, got any weave. They might have had an incident there as well. So I've never seen I mean, this game really looks difficult. I mean, I've had some time to play it myself, race on it, and these guys are really pushing the limits, and it just looks hard. I mean, it could be the curbs, it could be the setups, it could just be that we haven't raced in a while. But you know, usually you see this many DNFs at like a Baku or a Monaco or a street circuit, Singapore. You know, you name it. Not at Italy. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's really difficult. I haven't done many laps around, but yeah, down to 8 drivers. And a lot of them are just driver errors from pushing themselves to the limits, and they found the limit already. For most of them, they all found the limit. DRS is now enabled, and that's going to give Bats Plus Fire Up some extra miles per hour down the straightaway. Red Wing now pits from P5. I think he might have gotten some damage with the incident with Gottney Weave. Or maybe he's looking to put the softs on. That's interesting.
I think he's pitting to put on the softs, because I was right on board with Godney Wee when the incident happened. I think what happened is that he locked up. I think he was going to try maybe stick behind Red Wing, and I think Red Wing broke a little bit too early for Godney Wee's liking, and I think what happened is Godney Wee went to the left, and because he was going to break a lot later, and he lost the car, locked up, and then just went straight on. I think that's what happened, but I don't know for sure exactly if that happened, but it looks like Red Wing pit for the softs. Very surprising, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I just thought he would have already had the softs on coming to this safety car restart a few laps ago. I don't know why he didn't pit throughout the pit stop phase. I don't even know if that's him. I remember he had the disconnect, so we'll have to see if that's even him driving. It could be. if it's not him racing, that's a really quick AI. But I think it could have just been some disconnection error earlier. But yeah, fire flow. X Ryan, take that back. 21.5 is the fastest lap, and that's on the soft tires. So it's going to be a 4 race. Look at this. You got Bats Plus so close into turn 1. Around 2/10 on Bam Bam. Fire ups within a half a second. Then you got X Ryan within a half a second. So it's the top 4 with 7 or so laps to go in this race. Who is going to take it? You know, we don't know if Bats Plus will get a penalty later on after the stewards. If he definitely was at fault, it seems like he is. So just because he wins doesn't actually secure those 25 points that he gets. Fire up! Oh, kisses the curb. Nice save there from the Ferrari driver. And he keeps on going, still within DRS. And it's a medium, soft. And for this top 4, all these different strategies. Let's see how it plays out. Bam Bam has that track position. Bats got that. The younger tires. He's got DRS now. He's within 3 to 4 tenths. He's going to have a real opportunity coming to the front straightaway here.
What a way to start off Golden Class. A 4-way fight for the race lead here today. A brilliant show that we're going to witness here today, but it's already happening. Bats Plus is going for it on Bam Bam. The show has started between the top 4 battling out for first place. Bats Plus now trying to make a move on Bam Bam. He's going to go to the inside line, got a lot more speed than the Mercedes, and he goes down the inside for Williams and gets ahead, I think, on the Mercedes driver. Yes, he does. His fire on flow, going to try and get involved in this as well. It doesn't look like it quite yet, so the Ferrari has to stick behind Bam Bam, and so Bam Bam does lose a position. 6 counts now separates Bats Plus and Bam Bam, so Bats now got a really good exit off the last turn, now gets ahead, and now is just pulling away off of the Mercedes.
Yeah, and if I'm Bam Bam, you got to keep in there as much as you can. You know, you held them off for a little bit. You're outside of DRS. You know, will Bats Plus, you know, will his tires get to the end? Will he have that fall off at the end? You know, already 5 laps. You still have a lot of laps left on those soft tire. I don't know if it's going to be as quick at the end of the stint. And then also, you know, like I said earlier, the penalty. You know, we don't know if he's going to get a penalty from the stewards if it's submitted or not, or even if he's at fault, but you want to be P2 at least. And that's what Fire Up's going to do here out of Ascari. We get a terrible view there. There we go. Fire Up gets past Bam Bam for P2.
Yeah, he's up into P2. Very good move for the Ferrari. Got a much better exit than Bam Bam, and made the move in a place that you wouldn't expect moves to go. Is Bam Bam going to try and make a move on Fire Up Flow? Maybe. But what about Ryan? He's looking to make a move as well. Looking to make a move is the Williams driver. Bam Bam can't get past Fire Up Flow. A little bit of contact, I think, with Ryan and Bam Bam. No damage to either driver, though. But there was not enough room to make a move for either Bam Bam or Ryan on Fire Up Flow. But as you said, this is technically, if Bats Plus gets a penalty here, these drivers have to start thinking, is it possible that this is for the race victory here? Second place is for the race victory. Is that the case? We don't know exactly. I think Bats Plus, maybe he's trying to get a good enough gap, maybe to... in case he does, like, maybe get a 5-second penalty or something like that for maybe contact with Just Jose, then maybe he was going to get that gap. We'll see how it works out for that. But I think Bam Bam and Fire Up Flow are just going for it right now. And same with Ryan as well for P2.
Yeah, and we don't even know if these drivers do know that an incident even happened between Bats Plus and Just Jose. They might not be aware. But also I want to point out that when you're battling with 3 cars, well, now X Ryan's going to make the move down to Parabolica with the Williams very close on the inside. You got to watch. You don't want to get spun there. But X Ryan is going to make a move here. Is Bam Bam's now out of DRS of the Ferrari, so it's going to be clean move from the Williams for today. Oh, now Bam Bam did have DRS. He just opened it up. Interesting. He's gonna have X Ryan going up to P2, up to P3. My bad. I was gonna say, well, here, Bam Bam's interrupting me here. I want to say a point, Bam Bam. If you just give me a moment, but he's not gonna give me a moment. He's gonna look very close down to turn 4, but X Ryan now brakes. I was going to actually mention, you know, when you're battling 3 cars, it's very hard for the guy in the middle because you have to keep an eye out for the guy in front of you that you're trying to overtake, and you're also trying to defend from the guy who's trying to overtake you. So it could be a very difficult situation when you're trying to battle, when you got a guy behind you and you got a guy in front of you. It could lead to some incidents there. So when we saw that lap prior, that's kind of what I was thinking. It was a difficult situation for Bam Bam, but now he's into P4. It looks like he's losing some of that race pace, maybe losing some of the tires as well. We got X Ryan moved up to P3, and it seems like Bats Plus has the speed, 1.7 seconds to fire up for this for the race win. But like I said, we'll see how the tires come in towards the latter stages of this race, which we're almost there. We have a few laps left, and round 1 will be in the books, and it will be one to remember.
It really will be. We'll see how it works out. I think who's going to win this race, that's the question, really. We have just a few laps to go, but I think it probably will go, like I said, into the books as an interesting Grand Prix, especially lap 15. I think a lot of people will be remembering quite a bit. As I think we'll get a lot of comments saying from like after the stream when people are talking about this race, they're gonna say, "What happened on lap 15? I heard something crazy happened on lap 15." And you're right, something did happen on lap 15. A few drivers did. The entire race kind of shook up, and now we're having a great race to end off the Golden Class race here today. I think there's a pretty good gap between the drivers. That 4-way fight has kind of diminished a little bit because now Bam Bam and Ryan are now battling it out for P3, and now we get to that point, as we have been mentioning, the soft drivers, the soft compound drivers right now, they are going to be on struggling a little bit with their soft compound tires, because the tires usually last around from lap 17 to okay, let me think of the strategy here. From lap 17 to lap 27, I think that's where we're probably going to get the tires. So they pit a little bit earlier than lap 17. So I think their tires are going to start degrading, unless the safety car helped that out as well. We don't know exactly if that's the case, but the softs are probably going to start degrading for these soft compound drivers.
Yeah, and I was on board with Drismic for while you were talking there. Yeah, I did go for a spin in the Lesmos there, but he was able to keep on to it. Could have just been loose out of one of the corners, maybe too much on it. But I just wanted to, say, he's in a position to really grab some points here in P6. You don't want to throw that away. So if you have to go to a crawl, you go to a crawl. But X Ryan, also Bam Bam putting some pressure for P3. This is not over.
This is surely not over. Yep, Bam Bam absolutely flying right now on the medians. I think he knows that Ryan's tires might be degrading a little bit, and so this could give Bam Bam third place in the Grand Prix. We'll find out how this works out. It's going to be a nice little battle till the end for third position here. And just up the road is Fire Up Flow. I think he's a little further ahead of Ryan, and Fire Up Flow is actually kind of gaining on Bats Plus, 1.7 seconds now to Bats Plus. So is it possible the Fire Up Flow could maybe make a last lap charge to try and overtake Bats Plus? We'll find out in just a few laps time.
Yeah, and usually the Italian Grand Prix, they either go one way or the other way. It's either you have a very boring race and it's not much overtaking, or you go the other way. And you have a lot of overtaking, a lot of nice battles, and it's very close. And that's what we're getting today. We had a lot of wrecks. Bam Bam looking for another move, but no, it's going to be X Ryan for the time being. But he's going to have the upper hand now that the mediums are really kicking in. The softs are falling off. We'll see Fire Up. 1.7, he's keeping the gap. He's got some battery left. Bats as well, using a lot of it. But this is the point in the Grand Prix you can really pressure your opponent here. He's got about a lap and a half. Can you put some nice corners together? Can you gain a few more tenths? Can you get inside the DRS range? All of that is possible. 10 laps on those soft tires for Bats Plus. And now it's around 2-second gap. So it does seem to be moving into the Bats Plus direction for the time being. And we'll see how that deals out post-race.
Yeah, it's possible that there could be a penalty.
Oh, Drismic again. Yeah, it's again in the Lesmos. Man, maybe you should turn on the commentary. I'll give you some tips as we go. Yeah, you want to keep that P6. Now you got Red Wing behind you. You don't want to lose that. You want P6. You don't want to lose those points.
Red Wing's gonna try and make a move.
Yeah, he's right. He's within half a second now. Those 2 spins cost them many seconds. And now the Red Bull's driver has the tire temps are skyrocketed. And now he can't really lean on the tire as much. He's got to be careful not to wreck out on this last lap of the race.
And up at the front, Bam Bam now trying to make a move on Ryan. He's pretty close to the Williams driver. He's going to have one DRS zone to try and make a move for P3. He's actually got a really good exit. Oh, but then he loses a little bit of time and goes into the wall a little bit. That could affect his race. Bam Bam's lost third. Hopefully he didn't lose too much wing damage, because here comes Goddard and Weeb. Could Goddard and Weeb get up into P4 now? Bam Bam's got wing damage now. I think, yeah, he's got major wing damage. I think that's going to affect his race.
Yeah, but Guy We've's got that penalty as well. Drismic.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, so Bam Bam should be able to wheel it around here, and it's going to be coming to the last corner through Parabolica. It's going to be the Williams of Bats Plus. He had the pole position today, and he led much of the race today. He had an incident earlier on, but it's going to be Bats Plus to win the opening round for now, to take those 25 points at the top step here at the Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be Fire Up is welcoming to the Golden Class in P2 and X Ryan in P3 with very nice battles between them all. Just want to move away. We got Red Wing pressuring Drismic. I just want to stay on board just in case anything happens. It looks like Drismic can hold on to P6 through Parabolica.
He's got a penalty, though. That's going to affect his race. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish P6.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Red Wing should hold on to P6. Drismic serves that penalty, and the top 8 drivers do get points. Everyone else, tough luck. We'll see you next week at Japan. It was a tough nutrition race, and X Ryan is the driver of the day. I would say so. He moved a lot of positions up the field. He had some good overtakes, some good defense, and I just got a trophy.
Yeah, I think the driver of the day could go to him as well. He did a great job, like you said. Moved up quite a bit of positions, really pressurized a lot of people, and got up on the podium as well. So could go to him. We'll see how it works. You know, your prediction was very close to happening. You predicted, I think. Oh no, you predicted Just Jose to win.
No.
Did you predict Bats?
No, I did pick Just Jose,
okay,
but
okay.
if you're gonna give me the credit, I'll take the credit.
Well, you got Fire Up Flow. You got Fire Up Flow because you said P2 for Fire Up, and
hey,
Bam Bam was very close to P3.
I'll take one out of 3, you know, and Bam Bam, you almost pulled it for me, you know, you almost had it. I was almost right, but there's your finishers. For those who did finish, we have Bats Plus, Fire Up, X Ryan. So you were right, and Bats Plus was going to win this race. We'll see post-race how that does happen. And then we have Red Wing, a really nice finish. Opening round, P6, Damaso P7, Drismic P8. Just Jose and Down are all DNFs. They're not going to score any points for today. They did not finish enough of the race in order to get some points. Kind of shocking from a few drivers, Perry and Be Good, some veterans, Latope, Giggle as well. STK is kind of quick. Just Jose had that incident with Bats Plus. We'll hopefully see some footage later on. I don't know if you want to invite the top 3 Broom to the party. If you have them on your list, we'll get some post-race interviews for the crowd. And I just wanted to kind of point out that for those watching, definitely hit the like button and follow us either on your Twitch or on YouTube if you are not followed or subscribed already. We really do appreciate all the support. It was a really nice opening round. We have a lot more to come, a lot more special events. We have the TCR Grand Prix later in the season for the Platinum, some full qualifying at Monaco in a few rounds time, the All-Star race midway through the season. So we have a lot of cool events, so stay tuned for all of that. So don't miss anything. Make sure you follow and subscribe and give us some support, and tune in tomorrow. This was Golden. Tomorrow we'll see Platinum. Looks like we'll have a lot more drivers for attendance wise, and it's all no assist for Platinum same time tomorrow, so don't forget to tune in for that, and we'll get some post-race interviews on our way. You should be hearing Blin Machine commentating tomorrow. I don't know who he's with, but yeah, it's going to be Blin after a really nice performance in silver last night, grabbing himself a podium. I'm pretty sure I saw him in the comments. He's been watching today, and he'll be commentating tomorrow. So for those who are Blin fans, he'll be there in Platinum tomorrow. Some good stuff. But we had a really nice race, and we're going to hear from the top three in just a moment. Let me get to the gallery. Unless they took that away in this game, I don't think so.
Yeah, it should be there. I think it is.
Oh, the showroom. Here we go.
Yeah. Anyway, should we have all the top three joining us? I know Bats just joined us, I think, and then Ryan, and of course Fire Up Flow as well. I think we got them all in here. So yeah, if you guys are Fire Up Flow and Ryan, if you can hear us and you're not in the party, please join if you can, so we can give you your quick interview.
All right, so here we go. I think we have us all three of us. I mean, the three.
Do we?
I think we do. Possibly.
Oh, cool, okay.
So I'm actually gonna start with P3, and we'll move our way up. I'm gonna show an Aston Martin on screen because that's what the points will be credited to for X Ryan. Obviously, he joined late, so they put him in the Williams tonight, but he is credited for Aston Martin. So you joined in late. I don't know. You qualified towards the rear. You had a safety car, another safety car, another safety car, and you found yourself up into those top positions for the podium. You had some good battles with Bam Bam, Fire Up. You had some good battles with Bats Plus as well. But the main theme of today was nutrition. How was it racing and getting through all this safety car? Was it hard to get into a rhythm? And you're up on a podium in the first round. A really good result in that, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was definitely not expecting that, especially as the first race of the season, and joining into it, like you said, midway through qualifying. I actually had to go and steal a setup from, I think it was Bats Plus, in the middle of qualifying, and it just worked out. But yeah, no, I don't know, having that first safety car within, like, I think it was like lap 1 or something, it just kind of, it throws a wrench in things right away, right? So everybody was sorry, my girlfriend's coming down, distracting me. But yeah, no, it was like overall it was a really good race.
She must be congratulating you on your podium.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh my God, you did!" So, yeah.
You finally did it.
You finally did it. All this gaming, all this time you waste, finally for something.
Well, you have a bunch more opportunities left in the season. Yeah, it's hard to get in with the safety cars and all that, and I'm kind of distracted myself with all this interruptions as well. But I guess my last question is, what are some of your goals for the rest of the season? We just kicked off with the podium for yourself. You have a long time left in the season. Any kind of personal goals for the season?
Yeah, I mean, hitting like anywhere P5 and up would be nice. I mean, I'm not, unfortunately I don't have a ton of time to be practicing and trying to be competitive, so like I said, I'm very, very surprised to end up where I ended up. But I think having the strategies and all the safety cars came into a huge effect there, because, I mean, I think if that last safety car didn't come out, I probably would have been near the back, because I would have had to, wouldn't have gotten a free pit stop, but yeah, no, so, I don't know, P5 and up would be amazing results throughout the whole season.
Awesome. Well, Broom, do you have any questions for X Ryan?
Yeah, of course. I just want to say, first of all, congrats on the podium. You did a great job here today. Yeah, just congrats, and hopefully you get some more in the future. But my question to you is basically, how did you find the track here today? Because we saw a few drivers having some few mistakes. The top two, I think it was Perry and Just Jose Perry had a mistake at the Ascari chicane, spun out. Did you find the track difficult, or did you kind of just find a rhythm and was able to kind of just put your mindset to it and kind of just full throttle it?
Yeah, actually, I found the track was pretty good. I've like the setup I stole, it was actually had a pretty high downforce. I don't know if that's typical of the new game or not. Like I said, I haven't really played yet, but it was through Ascari. Like I had lots of traction, so because I was running 5.7 wings and through all the corners, like I had no issues. Maybe I was lacking a little bit of top speed, but with I had guys passing me with the DRS and made me look like I was standing still, but I had lots of grip, so there was no issues there, thankfully.
Alright, good stuff. So we're going to move on to our P2 finisher for the time being. Welcome to the Golden Class. It is Fire Up Flow. Are you excited that you got the podium and a great result, or kind of upset that the win was right there and it wasn't right there for you?
No, not gonna be upset. I on the first lap, I don't know what was going on, but I got damaged, but it didn't show up on my car, on my MFD, so I stayed out longer and figured out under the safety car that I had more damage, and I just got lucky. I think I can't even remember what happened now, but I got lucky with the second safety car, and then basically from once I put on the mediums, I thought I was gonna have to stretch the mediums out along, like I think 20 some laps, but we got lucky with the third safety car, and then after that, I felt like the win was there, but I was surprised and happy to see Bats on softs. I was hoping they would tear up more at the end of the race and I could catch him, but hey, it is what it is, and I'll take a podium in the first race, especially with damage, so on the first lap, so yeah, I can't complain.
Also, I was also going to ask, well, you mentioned your damage. With the new damage mode, it's hard for us to tell, how easy it is to get damage. Was it just the front wing or any more than that?
Just, at least she showed the front wing. But again, I don't know if my MFD was messed up or something because it showed all green, and I definitely had some damage. I would have expected to see like some yellow, but once I changed the wing, it felt like normal, so probably nothing more than the wing.
Nice. Well, Broomhandle, do you have any questions for Fireflow?
Yeah, congrats on the P2. You did an amazing race here today, and really were extremely quick. So well done on that. My question really is: I remember you were insanely quick in the Silver Class race. We had a lot of battles throughout Silver Class, and now you're coming into Golden Class. What's your thoughts on the championship? Where do you think you can go from here? And do you have kind of like a goal, really, on like where you want to finish at the end of this championship?
Yeah, I think top 5 would for sure be ideal. I think I had 2 podiums in silver last year, so honestly, coming into this, I was just hoping trying to go for a podium. Obviously, this is a little crazier of a race, but podium's a podium, so I'm really happy with that. And yeah, I'm normally pretty. Italy's normally one of my faster tracks, so I was hoping I wouldn't completely mess it up on this one. But it was a lot of fun. The entire race felt like I was battling with someone, or someone was right on me. Like, that is just such a fun track. At least I like it. But yeah, it was good. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll move on to P1 in this race for the time being. Bats Plus was able to get yourself the pole position of this race, starting on pole position, and then leading off the bat, and no pun intended, but that's kind of my language that I use, so it's in my rotation, I guess you can say. But we had a bunch of safety cars, one after the other. You were still leading, and then you decided to pit along with some others behind. You were able to make your way back up through the field, and then claim P1 with the soft tires at the end. Although I want to ask you, well, I guess how your race was overall, and then talk us through we didn't quite get it on stream. We'll have to look at footage after, but was something happened between you and Just Jose?
Yeah, it was a pretty good race, I think, overall. Everyone at the front was pretty close, and basically I ran a little wide out of the Ascari, and Jose came up on my left side, And when we were getting towards the corner, I moved out towards like near the racing line so I can get into the corner. And right before we got to the corner, it I don't know if he hit the grass, like I pushed him onto the grass, which I don't think I did, or he hooked my tire instead of like backing out of the corner, which I think he probably should have done, since he was never going to make the pass there. And it flipped my car into the wall, but I saved it enough to where it didn't rip the wheel off, but it destroyed my entire car. So the wing was damaged, it had floor damage, and both side pods were damaged. So that's why I had to pit. And the car was absolutely horrible after that to drive.
All right, well, I'll piggyback this question. So that happened right after Ascari. That's also where Perry the dog crashed out in the McLaren straight on. Did he have anything to do with it, or was he behind and that was a separate incident?
No, he crashed way before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was way behind us. I think he made a mistake somewhere and he was a couple seconds back. But ours was right into the last corner.
Oh, in the last corner, so more towards the parabolica. Okay, so it was more like farther down. That's what I thought. I just didn't know if, it all happened so quickly. We were like, oh, Perry's into the wall, and then it's like, oh, what happened here? And then we have Just Jose out, and we're like, what happened to Just Jose? And I was looking, and I couldn't find the car. I'm like, why can't I find the car? Because the marshal cleaned it up so quick.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't going to defend it at all, but I saw Perry crash. So I put my overtake on because I figured a safety car was going to come out, because they come out for everything in this game. So, like I think he was barely at my rear wheel. I think his like nose was at the rear wheel or something. So I just wanted to stay in front in case the safety car came out, then that's when we ended up touching.
And I'll ask you this as well, and then I'll give Broom a chance to get his question in if he has one. Because it is a new game and because of the damage model, I'm more curious about the damage. Did you get any damage from throughout this race? Was it just the wing? Did you have any more significant damage that you couldn't really fix? Or
yeah, it was the side pods, and both sides of the floor. So like the whole car was damaged.
Oh, okay. That's kind of
so
cool. Maybe not for you, but for me, that's kind of cool.
Well, it worked out, so it was kind of cool. Plus, I got to kind of see how it drives with the damage. And it's like it affects your top speed and it affects your braking. So like the car tries to spin under braking. So I had to like pump the brake bias and the diff way up so I didn't spin. So I just kind of tried to keep the gap to Ryan, to keep him out of my DRS, so that was the main goal of the last stint.
Very interesting. That's pretty cool that we definitely did have some other damage in this damage model that, I'm not kind of used to having, but that's kind of cool. But Broomhandle, do you have any questions for the race winner?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say congrats on the race victory. You did an amazing job here today. Really had the pace pull to the win. A very, very well done to you for today's race. But I want to say there was a point I think I saw on screen that once the safety car, I think it was the third safety car or the second safety car, one of the safety cars, when you pit, and I think Bam Bam and Just Jose pit, you guys all pit, you were overtaking so many people off the line. When you were overtaking, what was going through your mind? Was it kind of just like, I want to kind of conserve this and kind of take this easy, or just kind of send it and just hope for the best and maybe just try and like get ahead of Just Jose? What was your mindset through just putting on these amazing performances, going side by side and overtaking so many people to eventually get the win here today?
Do you mean like on the restarts? Or...
Yeah, like on the official restart, you were just flying off the line. You were able to overtake so many people. My question is basically, what mindset was going through you? We're just kind of like pushing it, kind of all that sort of thing, or just
yeah. So my restart, I kind of started when I wanted to. I led the first one, and then the second one, I kind of wanted to like hang back a little bit, and as soon as I saw the front car go, I went, and I think the guys in front of me didn't get as good of a start. So I ended up being able to get alongside them, as you know, basically as soon as the line came up. And then obviously for the third one, I had softs on, so it was a lot easier to do that. And I think in the second one, an AI was leading the race, so the restart was really weird. And I think that was part of the reason why it helped me out. It was a red wing.
Yeah.
He had a red X on the screen.
Was that an AI for you guys? Well, we saw it on screen. We weren't sure if it was actually Red Wing Racing or was an AI. What was? Do you know if it was an AI?
I couldn't tell. I think it was an AI, because it kind of like moved over a little bit where a normal person wouldn't. So I think he got disconnected or something. But it didn't say AI on the screen.
Yeah, we'll have to ask after the race and see, because if it was an AI, then you know obviously you wouldn't get those points. But yeah, if it was an AI, he was
like
kind of quick. He was kind of quick.
Yeah, I don't know
he
what the
did
AI
put
was
some.
on.
Yeah, he put some good moves on too. I was actually giving him some props. So we'll have to see after the race. But nonetheless, I think it's I guess just a final recap of what a crazy race, a great opening round, and just want to say once again for people watching on either platform, thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the Platinum class, same time tomorrow, 8:45. We should be live or just there or thereabouts. You should be getting a notification now about a half hour before we start, so that's tomorrow. Next week we're here at Japan, and TCR officially starts this week, and we are underway. And you know, we had a really good race today. We have, spoke to the top 3 here today, and it was a really entertaining race. Thanks, Broom, for commentating with me. We'll probably have a few more down the line. We'll see how it all goes and how it all shapes up. But any final thoughts, Broom, before we end this thing?
I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for watching the stream. It's been an amazing race here at Golden Class. A quite chaotic one, but a good start to the season. We had a lot of battles. Congrats also to all the drivers on an amazing performance throughout the race. You guys were pulling on some amazing overtakes and all that sort of thing. So great to see. And really just want to say on to the next one. Really, just can't wait for the Japanese Grand Prix. Also can't wait to watch the Platinum class, because that could be fun as well. But yeah, just I'm super excited to get this TCR season underway, especially on the brand new game, a new adventure. It's gonna be something special.
Well, absolutely. I'll repeat what Broom just said, and with that, tune back with us tomorrow night for the Platinum class, same time, same place. And until then, thank you all for watching for the final time. That is Broom Handle, and my name is Seafreeze. With that, we'll see you tomorrow, and have a good night, everybody.